And I am live again today. As you can see from the thumbnail and the title, we're going to talk about Shannon Sharpe. Now, there are many angles into this. I'm going to talk about who Shannon Sharpe is, because some of y'all are like, who is that? What does this have to do with the bigger picture? And I'm even going to talk to my K-pop fans out there, because my channel don't normally talk about stuff, but this is in the realm of entertainment industry. This is in the realm of dating. So I kind of talk about dating and I talk about the entertainment industry as well. And so this, like I said, applies not just about Shannon Sharpe, but this is a bigger discussion. And this also goes into the entertainment industry as a whole, down to K-pop. But hello, hello, JK. Hey, hey, JK. Hey, girl. But this is going to talk about a larger issue. This is oh, you're on time, girl. I had to come and do this live stream because I was going to try to do it tonight, but I have so many things going on right now in my life right now that my YouTube channel is like on the least of my worries, because I have so many errands and so many things, and I have a real life K drama going on. But I'll talk. But that's for another conversation for another day. But I do have a real life um, K drama going on in my own personal life. But it's good. It's not nothing bad. It's good. But we're going to talk about the industry as a whole and men in the industry. I think that's the kind of conversation that I want to have with this. So there is in America there is a man by the name of Shannon Sharpe. He has a big, huge online show on YouTube called Club Shay Shay, where he brings on celebrities and they talk about different things. He's had many celebrities. I think Club Shay Shay's been around for about 2 years. Shannon Sharpe was formerly a football player, a Hall of Famer. He was on ESPN. He's a commentator. Oh, am I breaking up a little bit? Child, hold on. I don't know. It might be something wrong with my internet. I it's been storming here. And I live like kind of in the country. So if it breaks up a bit, I do apologize, but I'm trying. I'm out here in the country. I'm in the country, so it might be my internet. I may have to go off of Wi-Fi. But let me know if it continues. But Shannon Sharpe is a famous football player, Hall of Famer, internet person, commentator, etc., etc., etc. And he's been in the spotlight, like I said, he for a long, long time. I know him from football. I know that he's a Hall of Famer. I know him and his brother, and they grew up poor, and I know their story. Well, recently there's been some allegations about Shannon Sharpe. One of his supposedly ex-girlfriends. Now, Shannon Sharpe is 57 years old. He's almost 60. So he was dating some girl for approximately 2 years. She's 20 years old or 21 years old. So I guess he started talking to her when she was 18 or 19. Yeah. And so she's suing him now, saying that while they were together, there was an incident of non consensual intimacy. That's the best way I can put it to get around the YouTube censors. So we're talking about SA, non consensual. Since the story broke, I think a day and a half ago, there have been two other instances of things that have come forward that Shannon Sharpe has settled out of court. So apparently, there was a production assistant at ESPN that he accused him of choking her, and he settled for hundreds of thousands of dollars with her years ago. And then supposedly from 2010 to 2020, he was in an on again, off again relationship with some other lady who's remained anonymous. They haven't released her name. But apparently they settled. They were in a relationship, and she also accused him of SA. Okay. So apparently this is things that we didn't know about. The public didn't really know about until just recently. So that's what's came out recently about Shannon Sharpe. And like I said, I don't have any animosity towards Shannon Sharpe. I don't know this man. I don't watch Club Shay Shay. I don't know why people idolize these people. But I do have to say that men in power are men in power everywhere. Right now, as we speak, I would assume that in the music industry, the entertainment industry, there's some men or man out there, and I'm not trying to harp on men, but this is what rules the entertainment industry is male executives. So even in the K-pop industry, which is ruled by most of the people up at the top are men, there are men always since the dawn of time, if you really want to go back, that have been taking advantage of their position or positions in the entertainment industry. That's because that's what we're specifically talking about. If you know all the instances in K-pop with Burning Sun and the Kim Soo Young thing and him dating Kim Sarang, and she supposedly allegedly was underage or whatever. She was under the age of 18. It's legal. It was legal in Korea though. But in America, the age of consent is for the most part 18. But if you go back to the many scandals, like I said, the Burning Sun thing, look that up at your own peril. The nth room thing, things that I've talked about on my channel. What happens in Korea happens here. You talk about Diddy, you talk about R. Kelly. We're talking about Harvey Weinstein. I mean, these things keep going on and on and on and on. Shannon Sharpe, for what I know, he does have children. I don't know if Shannon Sharpe has ever been married. I don't know. Burning Sun is inhuman. Burning Sun is awful. Burning Sun is awful. It's something that I had to really wrap my mind around. Like if you don't know what Burning Sun, go out there and look it up. It's not safe for work, so please don't be searching it at work because it's not safe for you to be reading at work or at school. Please don't use your school computer to let me go look up Burning Sun because it's not appropriate for somebody to really be looking at. But you have please be over the age of 18 because it's very disturbing. The nth room thing, NTH, they even have a Netflix documentary about the nth room. The nth room disturbed me so bad that I had to stop. I had to stop reading it. Like it gave me nightmares. The nth room thing is so horrific. It is one of the most horrifying things that happened in Korea that I've ever heard. This happened to young ladies under the age of 18. The nth room thing, and like I said, I did a video about it. It's in my playlist. The nth room to this day is very horrific. And the fact that people have tried to copycat this, but I'm digressing, but look that up too. And nth room didn't involve anyone famous though. It just involved these guys that set up I can't even put it into words on YouTube. Like I can't say it. But they were blackmailing women to doing things in Telegram chat groups. Horrific. Some of these girls were in high school. It's horrific. And so I'm never shocked at the depravity of men. I'm just gonna keep it real. Women too, because there are women who go along with these type of things as well. But for the most part, I'm never shocked at the depravity of men worldwide. It doesn't matter whether you're in America, where you're Asia, India. It doesn't matter where you're at. There people can be depraved. Period. And so the thing with Shannon Sharpe, I'm not too shocked because it has happened. Now I'm not going to discuss whether I think he's guilty or not because he was in a relationship with this lady, but she accused him of taking it too far and having non-consensual sex with him. He says he's innocent, of course. He's taken a hiatus away from ESPN, his job at ESPN, because of course that's normally what would happen. And then she's suing him for like $50 million. And I'm just like, wow. So my conversation today is not really about whether he's innocent or guilty or not, or what he's doing, but my conversation is a few things. Number one, this goes off to me being a single woman in America. And this speaks, I'm not saying this doesn't happen in other places, it does, but me being a single woman, deep fake things is dangerous. Oh yeah, I went down the deep fake rabbit hole. I need to do a whole video about deep fake because I went down the deep fake rabbit hole like a couple of weeks ago and looked up all the BTS and the girl group deep fake. Yes, there are BTS deep fake out there. I was like, all right, okay, this is what we're doing. But there's a lot of deep fake. There's a lot of adult content based on all kinds of things. So with the Shannon Sharpe thing, my inroad is this. Number one, I don't know whether this man did this or not. I'm not going to take up the cause. The cause is a bigger, broader conversation about men and about dating and about these older men And not whether these older men want younger women, because to me, as long as you're over the age of 18, it's consensual, then I don't really have a problem with the older man dating a younger woman or older woman dating a younger man or vice versa or whatever. I don't have any issue. Some people really took issue about the fact that he's 57 and she's like 21. And I was like, well, was it consensual at 18? I don't, and another thing, let me say, I don't know where he met this young lady who's suing him. I don't know whether he met, but that's a big part of it. So my question is, like I've heard some snippets and people say, if you're at 57 years of age, at what point do you grow up? This is the problem we face in the United States dating. As someone who is older, now I'm not 57, but I'm a woman of a certain age. I won't say how old, but those who know how old I am, they know, even though I don't look it. But I'm a woman of a certain age, and I understand that being a single woman of a certain age in America, it is hard for us to date. Now, not because of what people think it is, because of the age thing, because I have like 35, 40-year-old men trying to hit your girl up all the time. I have younger men in my inboxes on these dating apps because I do. Like I said, everything I'm telling you guys, I'm going to be speaking from my experiences. I'm not going to tell you secondhand information. I am speaking to you as a single woman in America who is on dating apps, who is out here trying to date and failing sometimes at it. But the things that I've complained in other videos that I've talked about dating is because there are men out there who just refuse to grow up. At one point at 57 years of age, that Shannon Sharpe had all this money and all these things to lose, just like a lot of powerful men. Like I said, right now as we speak, there is some old Opa in Korea that is 40, 50 years old, trying to pick up some 22, 23-year-old K-pop singer or trainee. I'm just telling you right now as we speak, this is what's probably going on. It's going on in every level of society. But here in America, it just seems more prevalent that there are a bunch of single men over the age, or let's just say over the age of 40. There are a bunch of men out here, they may have had divorces and they may have had, relationships that ended, and that happens to all of us. Or they may be widowed, like yours truly. I'm widowed. So, it happens, but the idea that at what point in your life, in your mind, do you realize that you have to grow up? Now, I don't, not me, I'm an international kind of girl. I date internationally. I talk to men in different cultures and women in different cultures in different places all over the world. But it just seems like in the West, this is the thing. It is cool to be 45, 50-year-old man. And like I said, regardless of the age of the women, I don't care if they're 20 or if they're their age. So if you're a 50-year-old man dating 50 women in your age range, which men do date women in their age range. Not all men are out here chasing young women. But when to the point where you're like, I don't want to die alone. I don't want to be up in the club at 50. I personally don't. I don't know what y'all want to do. I don't want to be 50 years old on a dating app. I just don't. I just don't want to do that. At what point in time in your life do you understand that, and I'm not a traditionalist kind of person. Like, I'm not saying you have to be married. I'm not saying that you have to cohabitate. I'm just saying at what point in time do you like, I'm 50 something years old. Maybe I need to go sit my ass down somewhere. Maybe I need to go find a woman that I want to be with that is not going to drop dimes on me and sue me because of certain things. Like I said, I'm not trying to accuse this young lady of lying. I'm not saying she's lying. I don't know. He may have did everything that she's accusing him of. And if so, that is horrible. That's horrific. Nobody, regardless of whether you're married, in a relationship, dating, or whatever, should be forced to have non-consensual, intimate interactions with anybody. I don't care how many times you've been intimate before. I don't care how many times that you guys, have been together. There are certain things that certain people don't want to get down with. There's certain things in the article that I read, apparently that she was not down for, and he wanted to force, allegedly, himself upon her. I don't agree with that at all. You should, 40s for you, 40s for you. She said 40s for me. At what point in time do you be like, okay, I may have gotten divorced, but I need to settle down? Shannon Sharpe is 57 years old. He's too old to be running around with 20-year-olds. period. Not just him, but any man. But I see this on dating apps over and over and over again. There are 40-something-year-old men, 50-something-year-old men on dating apps, again, in my demographic, because that's my demographic, who have kids and their kids may be adults, and they still want to date around and run around like they're 20-year-olds. And I'm like, why? Like, why is this a thing? And again, and I can't say it's black men. I'm talking about all men. I'm not trying to point out black men at all. Because again, as somebody who's in internet, who dates all races, I can firmly tell you that it's not just black men. It's all kinds of men. But mostly black men and white ones in the West, here in America. This is like a thing. Most men I know who are Asian, who are Southeast Asian, they go sit down. Like I don't know a lot of unmarried 50-year-old men from India. Like I don't, not unless they were widowed or they just suddenly got a divorce, or maybe they single and they just they got hurt so bad in their previous relationships and they don't want to date. But I don't see a lot of Asian, Southeast Asian, Filipino, Bangladesh, African. I don't even see a lot of African men who are 40, 50 years old who aren't trying to get married. This is a very westernized notion. This is a very westernized thing that people aren't, again, people take these things for granted that this happens everywhere. This is a thing in the West with a problem within our culture, that marriage is not valued. And this comes from somebody who is not traditional. I am not a traditional wife, girl, in a lot of ways. But I'm telling you that this is a problem in America, particular. I haven't lived in England. It may be a problem in Germany and England and other places. I've heard from women over there. But this is a problem for sure in the West. This infantile mindset, this player mindset, this whatever you want, however terms you want to lead, you want to have it. It's childish. It's immature. And that's why a lot of women that are my age, we stop dating. We just stop. Because I'm like, men aren't, I said it before in other videos, because men ain't serious. Marriage is very important here. Yes, marriage is very important. JK, apparently all over the world but here. And I tell people this, not trying to be funny, but from experience. This is my experience. This is me talking to people in other countries. It's different beyond out here. So I tell people, I've told women before, they need to internationally date. I told women before to get out of their comfort zone. Because women here of a certain age, we all complain about the same things. Men ain't never serious. I talk to men on dating apps. They don't call you. They don't put no effort. They're not consistent. They don't communicate. What is wrong with men? I hear this from women all the time. From women in their 30s, women in their 40s, women in their 50s. It's not just older women. I hear it from even women in their 20s. When you're in your teens and 20s, those are the times to date and try to find your person and figure out who you are. At 57, you shouldn't be doing that. When I get on a dating app and you're a 45-year-old man and I ask you, what do you want in a woman, and you can't really articulate an answer, I'm like, nah, bruh. Red flag. Nah, bruh. These men can't even articulate what they want in a woman. Well, she got to be pretty. She got to be nice. She got to be loyal. I'm like, okay, all of those are very generic things. We all want someone to be loyal and nice to us. I should hope so. I've said this over and over again in my videos. Those are generic things that everybody wants: loyalty and honesty and love, and someone to love us. Yeah, but fellow men, I'm gonna need you to dig deep. I need you to dig a little deeper. What do you want in a woman? If you have not sat down and made a list and formulated in your mind, this is the kind of woman I want physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. This is what I'm compatible with. This is what I'm not compatible with. These are all things I put into deep thought. And things that I know. I know what kind of man I want. I know what kind of man I want to be with. I know what kind of man that probably won't work well with me. These are things that I've all thought about. Because again, I am trying to find a partner, not someone to lay with on the regular. Because I've talked to men on dating apps who are like, oh, well, I need to be intimate with you first before I determine whether I want to be in a relationship with you. These are 45-year-old men. Are you that desperate? Are you that thirsty? You have a bunch of desperate, thirsty men in their 40s and 50s that I thought we would be over that by now. In your 20s, when your hormones are raging, in your teens, and you got all those hormones and all those juices flowing, ladies, and ladies, you looking at him and he looking at you, and you cute and she cute and he cute, and I get it. But by the time I'm of a certain age, by the time I'm the age that I am now, I understand that like life isn't just about sexual attraction. That it's about, okay, my kids are getting older. They're not going to be home forever. They're going to be going away to university, and I need someone to live my life with. I need someone to live my life with. I need to want someone to go on vacations and trips. And I need somebody while my kids go out there and forge their lives. I don't want me to be sitting at home lonely and bored because my kids are out living their own lives. I want to be able to do things and see things and have friends and companionship, and I just see men don't think that way. It's instant gratification. It's what I want. I want what I want right now. Right now. Not in the future. But what happens when you become ill or hurt, or you may lose your job, or I know I'm not going to be fit forever. Anything can happen to me, anybody at any time. I want somebody that's going to be there for me. I want somebody that's my best friend, that we are enjoying each other until our twilight years. You date to find a life partner. Yes, JK, that's what again, I'm like, maybe I'm going about this wrong. Because when I talk to these 45, 50-year-old men, and they like, I don't know what I want, and I don't know what I want to do, and I want to, and then they talking to multiple women, and I'm like, so you don't know what you want? Like, you can't narrow it down. I'm not saying you should jump into a relationship quickly. No, I'm not saying you should start. Okay, we're dating, and no, you're trying to get to know somebody, but it's just like men are like, men here are like, they put in a little effort, but then it seems like they want you to do all the chasing. So that's my problem with the Shannon Sharpe situation is mature age, immaturity, and wisdom. And how in the West, this is a cultural conversation. This is not about Shannon Sharpe. This is a cultural thing that I see in America. I don't see this in other countries. If people want to be single, they'll just be single. I don't see, again, my experience is with Korea and India and China and Japan. When men in Asian countries are alone, they're just alone. They're just like, I'm alone. They're raising their kids, or they may not have any kids, but they are trying to, if they want to find somebody, they are trying to find a life partner. They are trying to find a wife. They are trying to find someone to grow old with. They're not out here trying to find somebody to lay with for the night, and then on to the next one and go lay with this one, and on to the next one and go with this one. Again, whether it be a 20-year-old or a 50-year-old, I don't have any problems with that. So I'm just saying, find somebody that is on your level. Why would you not want somebody on your level? I don't understand that either. I'm a woman of a certain age. What the hell am I going to do with a 25-year-old man? What am I going to do with a 25-year-old? I'm old enough to be his mama. What a 25-year-old do for me? It's not somebody I would spend a decade with or years with. Now, if you want to go lay and play, again, I'm not here to kink shame, judge anybody. I'm not judging anybody. If you want to lay and play, that's fine, but that should be explicitly laid out. We are not dating. We're not in a relationship. This is what it is, and just move on. So this brings to my second point about men in the West that I don't understand. I need men to stay in their lane. If you are looking for a jump off, if you're looking for somebody to have fun with, and you like younger women, and then keep it like that. Keep it like that. Keep it all on the up. Look, young lady. I don't, like I said, I would really like to know where Shannon Sharpe is meeting these women. Where did he meet it? Because that's very important to the conversation, but we don't know. But if you're out and you're at a club or a party or through mutual friends, you meet this person, that's a difference between going online and hiring an escort or meeting somebody in the kink community. So what I'm saying is somebody who has experience in this, let me say it for again, for somebody who has experiences in these communities. And I won't get into the details. If you know me, you know. For people out there, men and women who all they want is intimacy. That's all you're looking for. There are communities out there for you. There are websites, there are Reddit groups, there are adult chats. There's OnlyFans. There's all kinds of stuff and resources out there for you. If you want to cheat on your wife, there is Ashley Madison. There is sugarbabies.com. Like, don't ask me how I know these things. If you know, you know. There's sex chat. There's adult chat 123. I mean, like I said, there are swinger groups. There are kink groups. There are people who are into age play. There are people into race play. For God's sakes, if you don't know what these terms mean, I'm not going to elaborate in this video, but go look it up. Now, how I know these things, don't ask. But I'm just saying, don't ask. If you know, you know. I know. There are people you can find out for any type of proclivity or kink, as long as it's consensual and legal, you can find people to scratch that itch for you. You don't have to go on normal dating apps. You don't have to meet somebody through mutual friends and then you don't have to quote unquote date someone or have this person thinking they're in a relationship or something with you on a regular basis. You don't have to do it. Doesn't have to do all that. If you have that much power and that much money, like Shannon Sharpe is very famous, it's even easier for him to go out here and find women. It should be simple for him to get with any kind of woman in a discreet manner. There are men doing it right now. I'm telling y'all right now. Even I talked about this in K-pop, that there are hangers on and K-pop groupies in K-pop, that this is kind of what they do. Now, I'm not trying to say these women are women of ill repute. I'm not saying that they're prostitutes. Okay. I'm not going to go that far. Okay. But there are party girls that hang out in every type of industry. Some of these women, you know, they have regular jobs, but this is kind of like their hobby. And like I've said before, in K-pop, there are women, some of them either know people in the industry, some of them even used to be trainees. But I'll say less about that. Who know people in the business, who may be related to people, who may have been a staffer, who this is what they do. They hang around and they party with K-pop singers. This is what they do. And when I say party, I mean party. That they're available. And that people kind of know this is kind of like a open secret in the business. That there are certain women and some men too. Now don't let me no. But I know about the girls. I don't know a lot about the men, but I've heard whispers about their men who hang around in these circles as well. And this is what they do. They party with these people. They get together with them and they party. Whatever that may be. It may just be having some drinks. It may just be at a hostess bar. Y'all understand that in Japan and Korea that they have hostess bars for a reason, because this is kind of like where these things kind of go on. I'll meet you at this hostess bar. Some of them may run the hostess bars, where they sit around with rich and powerful men and they serve them drinks and they laugh and they do karaoke, and whatever happens after it happens. Whatever happens afterward happens. Okay. There are spaces in America for that type of men and women in the industry as well. They have that here in America. America perfected it. You didn't know these things exist, JK? Oh my God. Yeah, like Diddy would have parties. Yes. These things happen. There are people having all kinds of parties now. As we speak, somebody is planning a party for something. And that's where these people meet these people. So for the rich and famous, it's even easier. But for the regular smuggler guys, it takes a little bit. But there's avenues and outlets and groups, Reddit groups, Facebook groups, Kik groups, Telegram, WhatsApp groups out there for all kinds of level of proclivities and kinks that you're into. And again, be it for me to ever kink shame. You will never hear me kink shame on this channel. I would be a hypocrite. So I'm just telling people that there's things out there for people who are looking for intimate relations with all types of people, all sexual orientations. So the idea that you are going to meet a regular smuggler person and impose that upon them, and I don't know if Shannon Sharpe did, but I see a lot of this out there as well. So for me, for instance, I'm going to give you guys an example. I'm going to give you a real life example of what happened to me recently. So if you don't know, I'm single. I'm on dating apps. Right, right. So I talked to this guy. He's Korean. He lives here in America, lives not too far from me. We're talking, and we're just chopping it up. We're talking, and I'm very candid with my profile. In my profile, I put, I am not looking for FWB or nothing. I'm not looking none of that. I don't get down like that. If that's the way people want to get down, and there's plenty of women on dating apps that will have intimate relations with you on the first date, the second date, the third date. I no, that's not Kiki. That's not me. So I tell a dude, I'm not having intimate relations with anybody unless I'm in a relationship with them. That's just me. So I tell men because I don't want them to waste their time or my time. Like, this is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for someone that after I go 2 dates on you and you expect me to lay with you, because I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. I want to get to know you. I like to be courted. I am a bit more old fashioned and traditional in the art of courtship and relationships. I'm a bit more traditional. I want to thoroughly get to know someone before I have to feel emotional feelings. I have to like you first. I have to be comfortable with you. Why would I want to hop into bed with somebody that I barely know? I don't know if I like this person or not. And I don't feel comfortable with you. To me, intimacy is comfort. Like, it's part of it. I have to know you. I have to feel comfortable. I have to trust you. Like, these things. And how long that's going to take, I can't put a time frame on it, because every person you interact with may be different. I may meet somebody and we have really good rapport, really good chemistry, and it may go down on the fourth date. I may meet somebody and they may be more shy, more introverted, and depending on how often we're seeing each other, that's another factor. So that person, they may not live as close as somebody else, so we may not be seeing each other a lot. So it may be 3-4 months before we decide to do. So it all depends on the relationship, how is it going, and the personalities, and how often we see each other, how often we talk to each other. Like, these are things all involved in that. So I tell men this very upfront. So this Korean guy was like, okay, great. I was like, all right. So we start talking a whole week. And then I'm thinking, we video chat, everything's going on. I was like, okay, we need to meet. We're talking about meeting. Then here comes the sexual innuendos. I'm like, oh, and I'm thinking to myself, here we go. To make a long story short, every day I started talking to this dude, it started to be more about sexual things. And I was like, wait a minute, dude. It is obvious that you are looking for someone to be intimate with. You're not looking to be with me. You're looking for someone to be intimate with. And that's fine, but go find that. Like, so you've wasted a whole week and a half of my time. I'm talking to you thinking you're a nice guy, and turn out that no, he's not a nice guy. And then the guy had the nerve to tell me, like, well, I said, well, why would you start talking to me when you know I've told you over and over again, I am not wanting to be intimate with somebody unless I'm in a committed relationship. And he was like, well, I started talking to you because I thought you were attractive. So he started talking to me and wasted his time and my time because he thought I was cute. It had nothing to do with my personality. It had nothing to do with who I was. Even though I'm telling him I'm not, he thought he could try it. And so my life lesson to men is stay in your lane. If you know that you're looking for these particular things, find somebody that are into those particular things in the beginning, so you won't have any misunderstandings, misconstrued, nothing. Everything gets out in the open. So the K drama ended. No, that's another K drama. That's a K drama I didn't pull up. Once I get done with this, I will tell y'all a little bit about my real life K drama that's going on right now, and it's nothing bad. But that particular K drama, end scene, it ended. But it was a waste of my time. A week and a half of talking to this dude, and then is just, he just wanted facts. And I guess he thought that if he talked to me for a week and a half, that maybe I was like, no, that's not going to work. That's not, we can talk all day, and it doesn't mean I'm going to do anything different than what I'm determined to do. And I'm pretty determined, and I reiterate to men over and over again, look, I'm not going to be intimate with you unless we're in a committed relationship. I have to get to know you first. It's just not going to happen. But some men will try it. So my thing about it is, if you were into certain proclivities, like Shannon Sharpe seemed like he was into certain things, get somebody that matches that. But my problem with men, again, the men that I've dealt with personally on a personal level, is that men will try, are perpetual line steppers. Men will try it with you. Men will see you, whether in person or online. They will see pictures, they will video chat you, they will talk to you, and they will be attracted to you. And regardless of what you say, or your desires, or your lack of desires, or whatever it is, they're going to try it anyway. And I need men to stop that. I need men. I'm a type of person that firmly believes I stay in my lane. If I send a dude a message and he's like, look, I'm looking for friends with benefits, I'm looking for casual sex, boop, boop, delete, unmatch quickly. I don't have time to sit here and be like, well, he said he was into casual sex, and well, he said he was looking for friends with benefits. Well, maybe I can change his mind. Like, no, that is not thinking that any women should have. Women, if you're thinking this way, you should not think this way. Men, if y'all want casual sex, be upfront and be honest and find somebody that matches your needs. My problem with men is that men are perpetual line steppers. They will go and try to find women like me. There are women out there. Like, I give the example over and over again. Here's me. Hi. Y'all, if you've been on my channel, you've seen me with makeup on and dressed up and all that. That's how I normally look. This is a stripped down version of me. But when I'm all glam, and I'm all glamorous with my hair and makeup or whatever, that's the image that I present. You know, a guy who will try on every girl. Right. Like, they'll try every chick they got. But y'all know, when I have my makeup on and my hair did and all, and I'm looking glamorous, that men like, that's what I present on dating apps and when I do video chats, if I video chat a guy. So that's the image that I put out there. So men will see that and be like, okay, I want to be, but we're not compatible. Like, our desires, our personalities, our values don't match. My problem with men is that men will let the visual supersede anything that has to go on up here. So I don't know about Shannon Sharpe. Maybe when he saw this attractive 20-year-old, all he was thinking was, I want to go to bed with her, and I want to. And not only do these fools want to go to bed with you, but then they want you to be with them and only them. That's the other issue that I have. Because I'm like, if you're going to have a friends with benefits type of situation, then I should be able to go out and do whatever I want to do too. If I want to do you and do somebody else, then that should be mutual. But no, ladies. This is not what these men want. So I'll use this example. I've used it before in my videos. I say, you take Shelly. Okay? Let's just say a fictional chick named Shelly. Shelly is average looking. She's not ugly. She cute. She average. She may live with her mama. She may got a few kids. She got a job, though. She's working. Let's just say me and Shelly are the same age. Shelly is willing to go to bed maybe on the first date, just depending on how many drinks Shelly get or whether she liked the dude or not. Shelly is out there. There are plenty of Shellys on dating apps. But no. Men will skip Shelly and come to Kiki. Now, Kiki got a profile where I'm looking glamorous. I'm looking beautiful. I got makeup on. I clean up real nice, I admit. I clean up real good. Y'all seen me. They will read my profile and realize, after quickly reading my profile, that number one, I'm looking for a relationship and they're not. Number two, we probably don't have anything in common. And number three, I might be a little bit out of their league, but men will try it. So they will send me a message and skip Shelly, which Shelly will be able to give them intimacy. They don't have to work as hard for Shelly. Okay. Shelly is in their lane. They're the same economically, professionally. They may have things, but they will skip over Shelly to message Kiki. knowing damn well that we have nothing really that much in common, and what I'm looking for is not they're looking for because they're looking at my pictures going, well, she's really attractive. And I need men to stop that. Go with what's in your lane. What's for you. What's not meant for you is not meant for you. My problem with men these days is you have these men who are just average, okay. I'm not saying they bad men, but then they want these women that are like clearly, clearly they either don't have anything in common with at all, or women that are out of their league, or both. And the women that in their league that can give them what they want, they skip over their women, then complain that there's no women out there. Like I've had guys tell me, I told guys, I said, well, there's plenty of women on these dating apps that'll have sex with you. Well, I've been on here and I ain't seen no women like that. I will turn around and log in because I have a male login where I can see the women. So I've created a male account on a lot of these dating apps so I can see because I get curious, like what are the men looking at? And I go look at the women and I'm like, there's plenty of women on there like, I want something casual. I'm not looking for something serious. And I'm like, what are these men talking about? There's nobody out here. No, there's nobody that you want. These chicks is okay looking, but no, they want women like me. They skip over these women. And I'm looking, and I'm like, I'm looking at the site and I'm like, she wants something casual. She looks like she wants to party and have some fun, but they don't want that. They want, like I told people, they don't want that. They want the stable, smart, sophisticated, attractive woman. That's what they want. They don't want Susie working at Walmart with 3 kids, living with her mama, who's average looking. No, they want women like me. They like, and so they come and they mess up they either waste our time or mess up, or even if you let them mess up your life, which is horrible because they can't stay in your lane. So with Shannon Sharpe, I'm like, if he wanted some kinky, freaky 20-something-year-old, I'm like, there's communities out there. He has money and resources. He wouldn't be getting sued right now, I feel, in my opinion, if he would have stayed in his lane. If he would have found a woman that we're just going to have sex, we're just going to do this, we're going to race play, we're going to age play, we're going to do all the kinky, freaky stuff, we're going to hit the back door running, whatever. If he would have found a woman that was down for that you have conversations about what you're into, what do you like? Again, we don't know the nature of the relationship or where they met, or was it just a sex thing? I don't know. But the point is that y'all kiki, freaky people want to go out and find these vanilla good girls. And again, I'm not one of them. I'm just saying from my experience, from what I've seen, that y'all will go out and find these women who are attractive, and regardless of whether you have any kind of compatibility, whether mental, emotional, or sexual. And that's like I said, I need men to understand, number one, to identify what they want in another person. Number two, to grow up. If you don't have to do anything. It's just a suggestion from Kiki over here. You don't have to, but if you want to be a perpetual bachelor into your 60s and 70s, I'm kind of saying it's probably not going to end well for you, but that's your decision. The same thing with women. There are women out there who want to be single. They don't want a man, and that's on them. Go with God. I have no issues with that. But the point about it is, don't get into situations where you're going to get caught up mentally, emotionally, financially, especially if you have money and you're famous. Don't let chasing a man or a woman, or chasing being with men or women, or chasing sex get you caught up. Don't let your head should be here, not down here. If you got a lot to lose, whether you're famous or not, you shouldn't be going around chasing women and being with women who are reckless. I know dudes that will go out and be with these pretty women, and then these women turn out crazy. These women keying up their car, they busting their windshield open, they calling them, they stalking them. They like, man, I can't get rid of. I've had male relatives that have dated women who are like, oh my God, this girl keeps calling me. I got to change my number. She keeps coming by my job. But I'm like, but you picked her though. You barely knew anything about this woman, and you slept with this woman. You got with this woman. You was bringing her ass to the barbecue last summer, and then lo and behold, she was coming to the barbecue in July, and then by September, you find out she crazy. Well, shouldn't you have like gotten to know her a little bit more? Maybe you would have found out she was crazy. But you let what she looked like and what she was doing sexually supersede all of that. And now this bitch is crazy. Now she keying up your car. Now she's stalking you. Get to know somebody first, fellas. It's okay. Same thing about ladies. Get to know somebody. If a person does not want to take time to get to know you and they do not match what you like, then be the person to be like, you know what, I'm gonna move on. Like this person, you can't turn somebody into something that they are not. Don't try to. Well, they said they wanted casual sex, and I want a relationship. Well, maybe if I just stick to it, and I can get him to change. Don't do that. Men don't do that either. If you want a friends with benefits, you want some casual, you want some kinky, freaky, go to the kinky, freaky sites. Go and find you a woman in a kink community. There are women in kink communities. I'm not speaking out of the side of my neck. I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking with know-how and authority. Go and find these women out there for you. There are plenty of them. There are lots of. I'm tired of men telling me that they got to go to dating apps and trick women to be. I've had so many men try to trick me and say what they think I wanted to hear. There is no need. There is no need to do any of this. There's no need to trick anybody into being with you sexually. There's no reason to trick anybody to being in a relationship with you. Women, men, whoever. This is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. You don't fit it. Okay, move on. There's no reason to be like, I need to talk to this person and trick them and see. Like, this is stuff that people used to do in their 20s. When you're in your 40s, you should just be like, I don't care. This is who I am. This is what I want, what I don't want. And you should be well adjusted enough in your mind to be like, you know what, if I got to be alone for a little bit, then I'm going to be alone. I've been alone. I've been single for a couple of years now. And I'm like, okay, until I get what I want, I'm happy being who I am. They just want pretty women. Yeah. They just want pretty women. And I'm just like, okay, sometimes you can't get the best pretty woman that you want. Sometimes they're not compatible with you. They're not for you. Are you a pretty man? That's my question. Are you? So I just need men to understand that when you stay in your lane, when you go out there and find what's for you, you typically don't have any problems. When you take your time to get to know somebody and explain to them, this is what I want, these are my needs, and y'all needs met, you won't have issues most of the time. Not unless you're just a horrible person. Like I said, the jury is still out for Shannon Sharpe, but the way things are looking, it seems like he has some sort of problem with women. I can't sit there and say, in my opinion, the things that I've read, his issues are beyond finding the right woman. His issues seems like it's multifold, multidimensional types of issues. It seems like he likes younger women and he likes them to be immature. It seems like he has a problem with, maybe domineering. Maybe he has these kind of, tendencies. But there's kinky doms out there. Is Shannon Sharpe a kinky dom? I don't know. Is he a kinky dom in the race play? It may be all of that. But the point is, I'm not here to judge. It's consensual. As long as it's consensual, I'm good. But point is, you can find women who are into all of those things and more if you would just take the time to find these women. It may take a little bit. It may not fall in your lap immediately. But again, when you have enough money and enough access, you can kind of find it's easier. But for the normal men out there, if you are into some really kinky, freaky stuff, there are groups and women out there that will match with your kinky, freaky. There's like dating apps and sites that are for kinky, freaky people. Like, I mean, it had all kinds of levels of kink. Like all kinds of groups, all kinds of websites and groups and WhatsApps and all kinds of things out there. And it's not very hard to find. You can just Google it from your phone and you can, trust me, you can find all kinds of groups. You ain't got to search that far. And then they can break it down by area. And you can find people locally. And, I'm just saying, don't ask me how I know. But I'm just saying that if you are into certain things, there is a group of sexual positivity. There's kink groups out there for you. You don't have to force women to do certain things that they don't want to do unless it's consensual. Now, if she want to be a sub and you want to be a daddy dom, that's fine. That's fine. That exists. You want to role play some, forceful kind of shit? That's out there. There's women out there who are ready to role play. They're ready. They're ready. Let me stop, y'all. I'll be telling too much. But there are women, like I said, it was somebody who's coming at this from a lifetime of experience. There are women out there that are in the world, in age of the internet. It's even easier to find your own community. It's even easier to find men and women that are into whatever you're into. It's easier to find people to have sex with. There's no reason why any man out here should be complaining that they can't find sex. I'm just, it's an opinion, but it's an opinion I feel very strongly about. There is no man out here that should be like, oh, woe is me, I can't get laid. There's no man should think that. In 2025, with all the things that we have on the internet, if you are complaining that you cannot get laid, then the problem really seriously is you. Because it don't tell me because I'm a woman and no. I know men who run around in certain circles and they don't have any issues finding anyone to have sex with. They just don't. Now, if you one of these really picky dudes and you don't want to put no effort into it, it just takes effort. I see a lot of times with men, they want it to fall in their lap and they don't want to put any effort to find anybody or maintain anybody or maintain interest. That's the problem. I see a lot of laziness in dating. I see a lot of laziness in even finding a friends with benefits or a casual sex partner. I see a lot of laziness. Like, I'm like, men are not even that motivated by sex anymore. Like back in my day, men would really try. Like they would really try to get women in bed. 10, 15 years ago, before the internet, before all this stuff, men would really try to get women in bed. It was a game. There was a game to it. There was a play to it. Now it's just like men just want to sit around and be like, I'm like, well, what are you doing to try to find a woman? Are you joining groups? Are you joining apps? And then I hear from men who complain about this all the time that they don't. Like I could do a whole conversation about how people online just want to talk. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of this online. There's a lot of talking. There's a lot of complaining and a lot of talking online. When it comes to dating, when it comes to intimate relations, wherever you're trying to find, there's a lot of this. A lot of people, all they want to do is talk about sex on the phone with women. That's all I'm telling you. There's a whole contingency of men in the West that they don't even want to do. They just want to talk about it. I've like I said, me personally, been on dating apps where I've talked to men and I'm like, okay, so do you want to eat? Do you want? No, they don't want to do that. They just want to talk. They don't want to put in the effort to actually, I got to meet somebody and, well, and then they hem and haw. And I'm like, okay, so you don't really want to meet? No? So how are you going to talk about you are dateless and you're lonely and you're sexless, but you don't put any effort into it? Baby, I could go off on that all day, but that's a tangent for another day. But nobody should be complaining about them not being able to get women. If you put an effort in your appearance, if you put an effort in actually joining groups and finding people and finding women, you could do it. It's not that hard. When it comes to intimate relations, it's not hard. Now, if it comes to a relationship, something like that, that may be a little bit more challenging. But finding someone to be intimate with, there are plenty of women out there that's how they get down. But again, what my experience, men don't want women like that. They don't want the women who are sleeping with everybody. They want to pick on me. The women who are not sleeping with nobody is telling you, I'm not sleeping with nobody. Then here they come, thinking that they can change my mind or be special or have me do something different. When I know on dating apps, there are plenty of women on there looking for casual sex. I know, I've seen it. I've seen the male side. I've seen the women that are on dating apps. Like I said, not there's a bunch of scammers and fake, just like men. There's a bunch of fake men and scammers, and it goes both ways for men and women. But I see a bunch of women saying, I don't know what I'm really looking for. I'm looking for something more casual. Da, da, da. I see these. These are terms that women use as well as men. And so the narrative out there is that they can't find nobody, or you got to trick somebody into doing something. That's a false narrative. You have to know where to find it, where to look for. And a lot of men just don't want to go out there and find kinky, freaky women, even though there's tons of groups and societies and meetups, and they're out there, y'all. If you're into that freaky shit, go find somebody that's into it with you. And so, like I said, Shannon Sharpe, if he would have, two things. If Shannon Sharpe would have settled down and got married and found him a nice, pretty wife, she don't have to be old. He could have got him a nice 30, 35. I mean, he dated one lady for 10 years and he didn't marry her. 10 years. He didn't marry her. So, I mean, that's on him. There's something with him and his mental and relationship trauma or maturity or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I'm not going to psychoanalyze this man. But I just need to tell men, y'all need to grow up. Don't be 50, 60, 70 years old out here and you still a bachelor and you still at the club, you still at party, you still chasing around 20, 22-year-olds and you damn near 60. If you have a lot to lose and you invest your time and your energy and your money and your career and you're famous and you're rich, that also should be about fixing yourself mentally and emotionally. If you want to be with women, go be with women. If you wanted some kinky, freaky stuff, then let them know. Kinky, freaky stuff, here I come. And just leave it at that or leave it at the door and then go on to the next one. Come with an agreement. Even if you got to have these women sign NDAs. I know dudes who have women sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. I'm not going to say who, but there are men out there, famous ones, that have women, anytime they sleep with a woman, they have them sign an NDA saying you won't go back and tell everybody, and then they need to see some ID to verify that they're 18 years old. If you got to have women sign NDAs, have them sign NDAs. You have to protect your assets and protect yourself, especially if you're rich and famous. And if you have certain proclivities and you're going to go around and do these type of things, don't be reckless. I prefer that Shannon Sharpe would settle down or whatever, but that's his life to live. I'm not saying that he should or shouldn't, but what I'm saying is that he should be wise enough to know that being in this industry attracts a certain element or a type of men and women that want to hang around you. I'm not saying this chick is lying. Maybe he did do these things. I'm not saying she did them or not. I mean, he did them or not. But what I'm saying is that, if you're going to go around and be dating 22-year-olds, 22-year-olds will look at you like you're a come up, not a boyfriend. They'll look at you like you're rich, you got money, I'm going to accuse you of something, and you're going to have to settle with me and pay. This is fixing to be my payday. And like I said, I'm not accusing the lady of thinking that. Everything she says may be true. And if it is true, then you shouldn't be going around forcing anybody to do anything with you, period. It's unnecessary. There's no reason why anybody should be forcing anybody to do anything in 2025, famous or not, especially if you're rich and famous. It shouldn't be an issue. If you're into force, if you're into certain things like that, domination and force, go out there and find you a sub. Go out there and find you a sub. Go out there, find somebody who wants to role play and enact your fantasies upon them and pay them a little money to do it. And then they got paid. You come and do your fantasy. Y'all hook up every now and then, and it'll be a pay-to-play kind of situation. It's just that simple. Or just find somebody that's into that, and you guys sign an NDA and have a mutual agreement. Have a sub-dom contract. If you're into that. Throw in a little age play, throw in a little race play, make it fun. But have them sign an NDA for sure to protect yourself legally. So they won't go out there and leak things and say things. If they do, you can sue them for everything that they got. But protect yourself. And like I said, even if you don't have money, you're not famous, you should be trying to protect yourself, period. And link up with people where your desires and your needs and things are equally met. Where you're not tricking somebody or forcing somebody or coercing somebody into doing something that they don't really want to do. For men and women, gay, straight, it goes both ways. So that's my advice. Why you said, JK said, he wasted 10 years. He spent 10 years with the same lady and didn't marry her. And then she ended up suing him, and he settled with her for like 3 million or 5 million or something, because she accused him of the same thing. She accused him of SA. So I don't know whether he has a problem with this. This is a kink of his. I don't. This is something that he's into. He's into force. I don't know. I can't say. But he quietly settled with. I mean, he lived with somebody for 10 years. I don't know the nature of the relationship. I don't know if it's off and on. I don't know. But it just seems very odd to be with somebody for 10 years, and you didn't marry this person. You didn't have kids with this person. That just smacks of somebody who's not smart when it comes to their sexuality, and somebody who's not smart when it comes to protecting their assets and protecting their reputation, and somebody that doesn't have control over their own sexuality. Once you have control over your own sexuality and you know who you are and you know what you're into, there's no reason for you to be violating anybody. It becomes a mutual consent type of thing. And when you have mutual consent, it is a beautiful thing. And some, like I said, some men in particular are just very lazy. You don't have to hurt nobody or force nobody or do anything to anybody. There are plenty of people out there who like what you like and are very discreet about it. There are plenty worldwide. If you have that much money and that much access, there really is no excuse. There's no excuse for the things that he seems like that he's been doing or he's into with women and everything. And like I said, without knowing the details of how he met these women, I'm really curious where he met these women at. Because I don't think he met these women online or in a kink community or anything. I think he probably met these women just like they're just regular women. Regular, I don't think these were escorts or anything like that. I may be wrong, I may be proven wrong. But I think these are just regular women. But if you're gonna do regular women, then you gonna get some freaky regular women, but then it has to be a stated thing. Like, this is what we're doing, this is what we're into, and this is what we're going to do. It has to be something that has to be mutually beneficial to both parties, not just you and your desires and what you want. That's a very selfish way to go about it, and that kind of things get you in trouble. So I just, to everybody out there, don't do what Shannon Sharpe, you know, is out here doing. Don't do that. Don't do that. Find your equal. Find somebody that likes what you like. And it's not hard. You just have to put a little effort into it. And that's it. You just have to put a little effort. Put a little effort into it. I promise you. You'll find somebody that is mutually like, I like this. I like this too. Okay, we're compatible. Hey. Yeah, it just takes a little effort. If you're a regular person. But it's out there. But that's what I have to say about Shannon Sharpe. But anyway, we're going to get to my real life K drama. So my real life K drama it's nothing bad. It's just that I recently met a guy. Um, I say met, but I've talked to a guy online, and it's been really good. It's been shockingly good. I'm a very big skeptic, and it's been shockingly good. So I will come back and report on Sunday because we're supposed to go on a date tomorrow. So I will come back and report next week or Sunday or Monday what has happened. But yeah, I met a guy. I'm in my own real life K drama, take two. But it hasn't been anything drama filled. It's just been a really interesting, nice connection. So JK said good luck. I know, right? Like, I got I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm like, we're burning incense, we're saying prayers, like I hope everything works out the way I want it to work out, the way we want it to work out. So we shall see. But yes, it is when I say it's like a K drama, it really is like a K drama. Like, it is very like, I'm like, this is a K drama trope. This is something that, like, it's very K drama. It's just like you meet a guy by accident, and then it's like an online K drama and then we fall into like these patterns of like and so we'll see. Like I said, we shall see. We're supposed to go on a date. I'm still very skeptical. I'm very skeptical about the whole thing. So I'm very fearful and very, but that's just my nature. My nature, I'm a very cautious, take my time kind of person. I don't want to jump into a relationship. I don't want to jump into liking someone really quickly. I just want to be able to take my time and then, us to enjoy each other and just take things step by step. I think he's a bit more forceful than I am. Like he's a bit more like it to him is no doubts. I have lots of doubts and fears and trust issues, but that's just me. But for him, he don't have all that. He's just kind of like, yeah, okay. Like to him, he's like, okay, let's go. Like, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And when I say let's go, I don't mean anything intimately, but I mean like us, let's go is like us being in a relationship. Like to him, it's inevitable. It's like, of course we're gonna be in a relationship. Of course we're gonna. And I'm just like, okay, like, and I have not told him about K-pop and BTS. How the question as I get ready to leave this live stream, my question I pose to people who watch this video: how do you tell somebody that you are into K-pop, that you're trying to date? Like he doesn't know I have a YouTube channel. He hasn't been to my house, of course, so he doesn't see all my my numerous my BTS pillow. But you know how I don't know how I'm going to break it to this person. Like, but I know I'm not going to do it right now. But it's formulating in my mind. Like, how do I tell somebody that I have a BTS channel? And then next week, y'all, I'm going to a BTS convention locally. And he asked me where I'm going, and I'm like, I'm going to a conference. Like, I haven't told him where I'm going. Just ask. And like sugar, do you know BTS? And that what Sugar said? The chick asked him, "Well, how do you get women?" And Sugar said, "Do you know BTS?" I was like, and I died laughing because I can picture Sugar really going up to some lady going, "Do you know BTS?" And they be like, when Sugar said that, I died. I said, "Look at my dude, my bias talking about how do you pick up women? Do you know BTS?" Oh my god! I mean, like I haven't even mentioned anything about BTS, but I do. I am gonna ask him. I was like, "Do you know who BTS is?" And let's just say I'm a fan. Like I've been trying to hint around to it because he was asking me like, "What kind of music you listen to?" And I'm like, "BTS," and he was like, "BTS, BTS." He was like, "Is that a Korean boy band?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, it's a Korean." And then I just changed the subject. So I don't know how to tell him that like not only do you know BTS, but I love BTS. Like BTS is my jam. I don't know how to break it to him. I'll figure it out one day. Like not right now, but everybody, we gonna work on it. We're gonna slowly we're gonna slowly but surely get there. We're gonna get there. But I'm like, how do I tell this person that I'm into? Like I'll figure it out. But do you know BTS? Well, guess what? I really like them a lot, a whole lot, like obsessively a lot. So I'm trying to not it's something that I realize in the back of my brain that if this works out, that I'm gonna have to break it to him slowly and like really explain to him because he's not gonna understand. He's gonna be like, "So you're a fan of K-pop?" But I had told him I did like K-pop, and I said, "Oh yeah, I like K-pop. I like BTS." And he was like, "Okay, cool," but he is not into K-dramas or BTS or none of that. Even though he is Asian, but he was just like, "I'm not into none of that." But so I slowly but surely, I'm gonna have to one of these days sit him down and but not today. I'm gonna give it a while. So we'll see this weekend, y'all. I'll come back and report about if we did go into a date and what happens and all that. But I thank you, JK, for being here. I got some more BTS AI art coming. I got all kinds of. I stayed up late last night writing, and I stayed up late last night doing art, and I stayed up. I stayed up way too late last night doing all kinds of things. So I stayed up late last night. I was writing a little bit. I was doing a little bit of like AI art, the toying around with different programs, just creating things because I get in these like furies of creativity. Maybe he's not into pop culture in general. No, he's not into pop culture in general. Like he's not a pop culture kind of person. He likes like sci-fi and like superhero movies and stuff like that, but he's not, into that. Oh, your unfiltered truth said preach. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Yes, I'm up here preaching today. I was up here saying, bringing it to the choir today about these men folks. So if you missed the live stream, just go back and rewind, and then you will listen to what I was saying about Shannon Sharpe and dating and about things that happen here in the West. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. Like I am cautiously optimistic about my love life for once. Like I'm cautious. I'm cautious. So I'm supposed to be going on a date tomorrow. I have my doubts and my fears, but I'm gonna go on a date tomorrow and then I will come back and tell y'all. I will do a video and be like, oh my God, this what happened. I feel like the date won't happen. He says it will happen. I'm kind of feeling that the date won't happen. So that's a little bit of my fears. But that's my paranoia of being online dating. I've had so many disappointments. I've had so many people go ghost. I've had so many guys end up marrying. I had so many, like, all kinds of things. Stay optimistic. Oh, I'm trying to stay optimistic. Nothing wrong with having standards and boundaries. Yeah, he accepts all my boundaries and my standards. And then, the whole entire time I've been talking to this guy, I've been trying to trip him up, y'all. Like, I've been saying things and doing things. And every time I say something, like, or do something to try to trip him up, like he doesn't trip up on it. And I was just like, like he doesn't care. Like I told him, we're not going to be intimate and all that. And he doesn't care. He hasn't mentioned anything about sex. He respects that. He's like, I respect you. And then I've been trying to trip him up on all many different things. And he has not tripped up not once, y'all. I was like, what's going on? I was like, man, I'm thinking, I'm like, I got him this time. And then I'll say something to do something and he doesn't trip up, you know? Have a great and safe, enjoyable time. I hopefully it will happen. Again, my fear is that it's something's gonna come up and where I just have that feeling. I don't know. Like I said, that's just me being paranoid. But I've been trying to trip this guy up, and he has not tripped up. He has not tripped up, not once. Not once. I mean, not even a stumble. Like I be trying to throw curveballs at him because like I be trying to test him. I be like, what about this? And he just answers it flawlessly. And he just and then on top of that, y'all, like I have to add this in. He's real cute, y'all. Like he's like K-pop singerish cute. Like it's that bad, y'all. And, like he's like K-drama cute. Like real cute. Like if I would show y'all, I wish I could show y'all a picture of what this man looks like. Y'all be like, wait a minute, what? Like he real cute. Like and we talked over the phone and you know, he lives not too far from where I live and he has a good job and a degree and he's real cute, girl. So a real K drama is going on. Yes, a real K drama is going on. Talking about you deserve someone you're attracted. Oh my God, yeah. I am insanely attracted. I mean, he's Vietnamese and Filipino, and so he like is really good looking, like really attractive, like really attractive, and really like respectful and self aware. And he's a father, and his son's in college, and and he's my age. He's a little younger than me, but around my age-ish in that range, in that range. He's in his 40s, let's put it that way. Okay, he's in his 40s, okay? But and then he's Asian, so he's real young. So he looks like he's in his 30s. But yeah, he's in his early 40s and he has a kid in college and he's really like a real attractive guy. But then he's not, he's like, "Oh, I'm not that attractive." I was like, "All right, I'm just going to let that go." But I mean, like really attractive. And so I try not to get too excited. I try to be cautiously optimistic, and oh, I look young too. Yeah, see, thank you, JK. See, that's what he says, and he thought I was younger. Like he saw my pictures on like the dating app, and he was like, "Wait a minute, this has to be a typo. You can't be that. You can't be that age." And I was like, "I am," and he was like, "Wow, really?" I was like, "Yeah, I know I look younger. You know, just good Korean products will help that out. But he thought I was younger. He thought it was a typo, but it's fine. And then we have a lot of things in company. He's very, 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 very nice and sweet and polite and a bit old fashioned and in that way. And he seems to really like me, which is weird, which I find very strange. But I'm trying not to be paranoid about it, y'all. I'm really not. Like I'm trying to be like, okay, be cool, Kiki. But he really likes me, like really, really. Like he's like smitten. Like I've never had a guy be smitten, and he told me he's like, I really like you. He's like, oh my god, I've never met a woman like you. Like I'm like smitten, and then like it's not just what he says, but then what he does, like like he text messages me every morning and calls me and was like, "How was your day? And do you need me to do something for you?" And and he joked and he made a joke. Wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute, y'all. He made the joke. He was like, he messed around and said the phrase that had me like, what? And he was like, man, he's like, you the type of woman I throw all my money at. He's like, I'll just give you the credit card and you can just. I was like, wait, do what now? I'm like, what? Yes, this man has said many times, you the type of woman I throw a credit card at. He's like, you have no idea. He's like, once we get this thing going and we get this thing going, he's like, you'll just wait, you'll see. I was like, okay, like I didn't even know what to say, y'all. Your girl was tongue tied, and I'm never tongue tied. I talk a lot, but I didn't even know what to say. I'm like, what? Like, what am I hearing right now? And he's like, just you wait. He's like, we just you wait. I said, what that mean? I've never had a guy talk to me like that, like ever. I've been married, and I've never had a guy just come out and say like, he's like, you're my type of woman. It's like I'm like, this is. I was like, have you been reading my writings? Like, I'm online going, okay, surely he's read my fan fiction because everything he said is pretty much mirrors my fan fiction that it is so uncanny that one of my friends is like, girl, have you manifested your Jungi fanfic? One of my friends is like, girl, I think you've manifested your fan because literally the things he said is literally almost the same stuff that is said in my fan fiction. And so my friend is like, you have manifested your BTS fan fiction. She's like, you have found your Jungi because the way he acts is kind of like how my fanfic version of Sugar acts. And it's really uncanny and weird. And it weirds me out. Like, it really scares me. I'm just like, this is a little too weird. And like I said, he's a successful guy. He lives in a rich area in a house. And so, I mean, but the things he say, I'm like going back and reading my fan fiction going, okay, wait. Wait a minute. This is in episode 40. Like, I was like, I'm living my own fan fiction. He's a younger guy. In my fan fiction, Yoongi is married to a older woman. And they end up, and then he was like, well, do you want to have any more kids? And he was like, oh, well, I want to have twins. I was like, well, I'm too old to have kids. I don't want to, have kids. But he's like, oh, I've always wanted to have twins. I'm like, what do you mean you always want to have twins? I'm always like, what do you mean twins? Twins? What kind of twins? Twins? What? I'm like, twins? What? That's in my fan fiction. Yoongi and YN have twins. This dude was over here telling me he wanted twins, girl. I'm telling you, it's weird. It's weird. It is weird. Like, I don't believe in manifesting. I don't believe in all of that. But I'm really kind of like, okay, this is really uncanny. Like, this is my fan fiction almost come to life. It's weird. It is weird, y'all. Maybe he's a mind reader. I don't know. JK, I don't know. I don't know. It is weird to me. The things that he has said to me and the behaviors, I'm like, this is like my character, this is like my Yoongi character come to life. And I was like, I don't really like I'm the character in my own story for real now. Like for real, like this is really happening. I was like, but I haven't told him anything about my fan fiction, anything about BTS, anything about my fan fiction. Of course, I haven't come across as a total weirdo. I haven't told him anything about that. But the idea that he says things and I'm like, but I wrote that. I'm like, I wrote that. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, did I write that? And it's just it's this weirds me out more. I've never experienced this. I've written things and I've never met somebody that just popped up out of nowhere almost and was like, and then in like I said in my fan fiction, Yoongi and YN meet, except they met at work. YN is older than Yoongi. Yoongi becomes really smitten with her because she's older and more sophisticated, and they carry on like this 7, 8 year back and forth, on again, off again type of relationship until they end up finally. Yoongi gets over himself and they finally get married and then they have twins. And that's how my storyline goes. But in between all of that, they have this really very passionate romance, very passionate, intimate romance, very loving, very passionate, stormy, like impossible romance that eventually works out. But in the beginning, they were very like really in. Well, he was really in my story. Yoongi was really into YN, and YN was just kind of like, okay, I work PR for Big Head. Like, I'm not supposed to really have a relationship with you. And then, so she was kind of very kind of cool to him, where he was really into her because she was older and she was foreign. And so that's the element of my story, which smacks at real life because now I have a guy who I'm older than him, almost the same age difference as YN and Yoongi. He's really smitten with me. He is like, you know, you are my ideal type. Like you're the women that I've always been attracted to. And I'm just kind of like, okay, I don't really know what to do with that. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, you're really attractive and you're cute, but I'm just like, I don't know. And I'm kind of like in this doubtful mindset, but he's all in and ready to like, and so that mimics my story. Girl, a man written by a woman. Girl, yes, like this is it's so crazy. And I'm like, well, this is kind of how like my story goes. And then also I draw on my real life experiences. So it's not like just this situation, but it's a lot of Yoongi is Yoongi in my stories. A lot of Yoongi is Yoongi. It is his stoic personality, his non-emotionalism, but a lot of it also I had to say in my stories is the story between me and my husband, because me and my husband went through the same thing. My husband was a lot younger than me. He was 9 years younger than me, and my husband was all in the beginning as well. And my husband was very kind of stoic. I always tell people that Yoongi reminds me so much of my husband that it is. I put a lot of those elements, like our relationship, in it because my husband was very much into me before I was into him. He was very much like wanting to be with me, but then he was never like really overt about it. He was just very calm and cool and very like passive about it. But deep down inside, there was a cauldron of emotions going through my late husband's mind that my late husband told me, confessed many years later, that he was determined to get me by any means necessary. That he knew in the beginning that I was the woman that he wanted to be with. There was no doubt in my late husband's mind. And I didn't know this until he told me many years later. There's a lot of things about my late husband I didn't know until I talked to my sister-in-law, that he was very much into me. He was very much in love with me since the beginning. And I didn't know none of this. Like, he kept it all to himself. So I put some of those elements in my story as well, with Yoongi being very passive and stoic, and YN kind of feeling like Yoongi didn't really even like her in the beginning, that he was very cold to her, but he was sizing and analyzing and trying to get to know her, and he didn't want to come across as being too overly exuberant. But then eventually he started doing things for her, helping her carry the bags, helping her set up things, and then other BTS members started to notice that then him and Yoongi and YN will talk a lot. They will have a lot of conversations about a lot of deep things, about his fears and being in the industry and all these things. And that's how their relationship started. It started pretty much as a friendship, which mimics my real life marriage, that we started out as friends first. And then it kind of ran into a relationship for me. But on my husband's end, it was no doubt. Like, he knew he had a plan. My late husband had a plan since day one. I'm going to be friends with her. I'm gonna win this woman over. He knew since day one. But with this new guy, he just let it all out the bag in the beginning. Like, I'm smitten with you. You're the woman I want to be with. I don't want to be with anybody else. And this man has told me this, and I'm just sitting there going, I'm like, are you sure? Like, are you been drinking? Like, I'm like, okay, I guess like I'm flattered, but I don't really know how to react to that. So we'll see, y'all. Conversation is key. It is to have a deep, meaningful conversation with somebody stirs up really strong feelings and somebody who's consistent. I would tell everybody that the dude that I'm talking to, what has drawn me to him is that he's very consistent. He's very considerate and consistent and communicative. And I am all those things. And those are the things that I want in a relationship. It's things that I didn't have in my previous relationship for 5 years. I didn't have that. I told the dude day one, I said, I like a man who's consistent, who communicates, who's caring. And he's so far been all of those things. I'm like, either I hit the jackpot or sometimes I'll wake up and pinch myself and be like, Shirley, let me pinch myself because this is not real. Like I told him the other day, we kind of didn't get into it, but I was like, I just feel like this isn't real. And he's like, what do you mean? And he was kind of offended because I was like, I just feel like it's not real. Like I'm like, every day I'm like, is this for real? Like, just. And then, like I said, I've done things to try to test him, to try to trip him up, slip him up, and he has not. He's been steadily consistent for like 2 weeks. It has just been like he'll call me, he'll text me, we'll chat. He'll ask me what did I eat, how's my day been, how's your day been, da, 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 and it's consistent. And so I'll see if we'll meet tomorrow, y'all, and I'll come back and let y'all know. But yeah, conversation is key. Compatibility is key. Having a good rapport with somebody and somebody just showing that putting in effort. And I'm the easiest person to be with as long as you put in consistent effort. So he has put in a level of consistency and effort that I have not seen in men in a long time. I have not seen men be as consistent as he has. And then that's a wonderful thing. But I'm still cautious. I'm still suspicious, but I'm just gonna let go. My sister-in-law told me to stop being paranoid and being antagonistic because I have a habit of being I have trust issues and I am very antagonistic and I can be a glass half empty. I can be a very pessimistic, negative person at times, and I'm trying to like work on myself because I do have that problem of being very negative and expressing those fears and negativities to somebody is probably not the way to go. I would say, yeah. My sister in law is like, don't do that. She's like, are you being belligerent? Because I was kind of being belligerent like a day, and he was like, well, what are you saying? Do you not want us to talk? And I'm like, no, I just don't think it's real. And da, da, da. And my sister in law said, oh no, 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 what are you doing? She's like, are you trying to run them off? Because that's what you're doing. And I realized that that's when I get afraid, I push people away a little bit, and I have to stop doing that. So I just let it go. And I said, I'm just gonna let the chips fall where they may. And if it work out, if it do, it do, it don't, it don't. And I'm not gonna get in my head, I'm not gonna overthink this. So there we go, kids. So I thank you, JK. Unfiltered Truth was here. I'm glad you were here for sure to hear my thing about Shannon Sharpe. But I appreciate y'all listening. And then we'll on to the next video. I'll come back on Monday and tell y'all if it really happened or not. And if it didn't happen, I'm be angry and I'm gonna say a few words. But anyway, y'all have a good rest of the day. I have to get back to work. This is my lunch break. But bye y'all. Y'all have a good day. Thanks for being here. Peace.